Hi friends, welcome to my channel JB's Crochet. I'm Amber and today I was going to do another session of Crank and Chat. So I have been wanting to literally dust off this machine. It is covered in dust, so I need to get a can of air and clean this thing off. Let's see, where is my... I'm gonna have to remark it because I can barely see where my black starts. All right, so I'm just gonna put it on like I normally do, and this again, not a tutorial like usual, just gonna crank away and talk a little bit about what I'm doing. I'm just fixing my tension on this because I don't want it to be too tight. All right, so let's feed it in here. And of course, I'd get a phone call while I'm doing this. Oh, come on, stop it. All right, sorry about that. Oh, normally I screen my calls, but this one I just wanted to go ahead and get it ended. All right, so I need to pull a tail in there. And then we're just gonna make hats. So I'm using up this dark purple that I have. It's like an eggplant, and I think I'm gonna use this lilac lavender color. And then this I'm gonna use with my other one over here. So I'm gonna put these two purples together. I think that'll be fun. So bear with me. It's been a hot minute since I've done this, so you know what, I just fed it through here and I have to, hold on, I got to cast it on first. See, like I said, hot minute. I gotta do this first before I can start cranking away. So I'm going around every other one, going behind and in front. That's how you cast on. I was thinking Marianne from Mama Wench aka Marianne inspired me to, I want to make another blanket on the Addy, but I was literally walking in here setting this up and went, you know what, I wonder what a blanket would be like in this like shiny yarn like this, because I don't like to crochet with it, and so to make a blanket from that would be like, oh my gosh, could you guys imagine how soft that would be? All right, so I gotta feed this through here, but listen to me. Reset my counter, because you know, I haven't done that. Ooh, I need to clean this off. I need to figure out how to clean this dust off of this thing. All right, I'm gonna drop the yarn on the floor so that way it's not in my way of my arms. And I'm gonna leave that one right there. And I'm going to start cranking. And the first round is a little clunky, and then it goes, we like this. I'm kind of anxious to start using Premier yarn on this because Marianne said her machine loved it like butter. So I'm kind of curious to see if my Addy will think the same thing, because this stuff goes through it like butter. And I got it on sale too, so to get like 2 to 4 hats out of 2 skeins of yarn, right? I get, yeah, somewhere in there, because I get 2 out of, if I just did a solid color, I think I get 2 out of 1 skein. So if I use 2 skeins, 2 colors, that would be almost 4 hats. That's why I say 2 to 4, because, you know, it just depends on your tension. Oh, I don't even know why I'm holding this. The tension, as well as, you know, how many how many rows you do and all that stuff. So It's going along like butter. You can hear it's just... I should need to clean this thing off. It's so dusty. Oh, one of these days I'll make myself a cover for it. It really isn't going to be that hard. I just got to make basically a solid cover so that way dust doesn't settle through the holes. And it just needs to be, you know, round and wide enough to fit over the crank on the side here. And then just so, you know, probably about 8 inches tall. Like a little cake, you know those cake platter covers? I need a shorter chair. Not much shorter, but I almost need a shorter chair and table so I can sit here like this and not talk to you with half my head cut off. It's the only thing that annoys me. I could not get this darn camera in the right spot, so I just said, you know what, you guys are just, you're used to it and I'm not gonna stress about it. So I'm gonna bring my water in here. Put hooks away while I'm cranking. Maybe. Don't go backwards, don't go backwards. Ah, this one. Actually, I put it right there with that one. Okay. Squirrel! I could literally just sit here and stare at this and not talk to you guys, but I want to make sure I'm chatting while I'm cranking. It's cranking chat. I'm at 30, almost 30 rounds. I'm at 28 right here. So that means I have about 100 more to go to make a hat. But I also got to keep an eye on the yarn, so that way I can change the color when it comes time for that. I don't know how much further it'll go. Hopefully it'll get to around 60 or 70, and then the last little bit can be the lighter purple. But if I do 130, half of that's 65. So I want this to make it to at least 65. I've but I've seen other people talk about them. They do hats around 130 to 140 rows for adults and most children. So that is my plan, to go to about 130, 140. So we'll see how far this purple takes us. So I'm at 36. And I still got a decent amount left. So hopefully it makes it to 65. I don't know, we'll see where I get to. It's been so long since I've done this. Well, I say it like it's been years, you know, or months. But really the last time I touched this was, when did I do the Doggy Crate blankets? Did I do that in September? Or August? Maybe it has been a couple months. It's just been a while. We'll just put it at that. Looking around because I was like, did I by chance have my water in here? No. No water. That's okay. I'll be alright. I'll survive through this hat. So 44, and I think we'll make it to 65. Let's see. We shall see. But yeah, Marianne got me thinking. She, not because of the yarn she's using, but I'm just like, she's making a blanket, so she's using her Addie to make a baby blanket. And so I said, or not, I didn't say that when I heard her say it, but I was literally, like I said, coming in here to set up and went, I wonder what a blanket would be like in this Karen Simply Soft style-ish yarn, you know, because this is Big Twist's Shine, which is essentially, to me, very similar to the Karen Simply Soft, which I don't know if this purple is Karen or if it is I think it is Karen, because I don't think Big Twist has this color. It has a dark purple, but I don't think it's this dark purple. Alright, so we're at 53, and I am running very low on color. The nice thing about these machines is they aren't yarn eaters. This all depends on the project you use and how much you have to use for it. But I am coming up on, woo baby, I don't think I'm gonna make it to 60, nope. I'm gonna go to, let's see, this, I think I can go one more round. I hope, nope. Dang it, it's not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to change colors right here in the middle of a round because I went too far. Oh well. Oops. That's just how it goes, I guess. So we're just gonna tie a knot and keep going instead of doing the typical color change. I'm gonna do my magic knot and see if it holds, because this slippery yarn and knots, I don't trust it. I don't know why. Just don't. So we'll see. It seems to be a... See, I think I have Karen Simply Soft in here right now because it's almost rope-like, this lighter purple, and the other one's not. It's like twisted. It's hard to describe. You know what? This could be on the inside, so let's see. I gotta make sure it lands on that side. All right, let me go around my thing because I don't want the knot to get caught. Because if it gets caught, it messes up our tension. All right, let's see. All right, gotta make sure that my tails end up on the inside of this. Inside of this hat. So I'm carefully pulling. There we go. Switch hands. There we go. I think we're good. Because it's on the inside, so I don't have to make sure they're short, so we should be good. Alright, now we can keep going. Well, we gotta go slow through this area right here just to make sure. Make sure those... I think we're good now. Now I'm just gonna go to 130 and see what happens. It kind of stinks that it won't be half and half. I mean, I could make it a smaller hat, I suppose. So maybe I'll just go to 120. Because that's, I mean, that's on the smaller side of an adult hat, but it'll still fit. I'll show you when I put it on. And it could be a slouchy hat, too, for a kid. So... These colors look really pretty together. I mean, it's two purples, so I think it'll be fine. So the weather here today, it has been rainy all day and it's been glorious. We haven't had this much rain in quite a while, and for it being gloomy and dark and wet and just all around yucky outside, it's beautiful outside because it's rain, you know, it's fresh. It's, oh, we've been so dry for so long that we've needed it. My youngest though, he is quite the worrywart. If he sees clouds or stormy looking days, he's very much like, can you see, you know, how much longer we're going to be under the storm clouds? You know, I think he was traumatized by the storm we had back in July. It didn't help that Mommy and Daddy got a little nervous with it. So I think he just, it traumatized him. And so now he's just been kind of a worrywart, and that's okay. You know, it happens. I just have to keep reiterating to him that, you know, when mommy and daddy are scared, trust me, we'll let you know when you need to be scared. That's when you'll need to be scared, when we're scared. Like, when we're worried, we'll let you know. Or we may not even let him know, just to keep him, you know, from being traumatized. But also, you know, it's a growing thing for him. A life lesson, you know, to know how to be concerned when you need to be concerned, and to not be concerned when you don't need to be concerned. So I really hope that my voice in this video is coming across okay with all the clicking, because my camera's sitting a little further away from me than usual, but I'm trying to talk where you can hopefully hear me. But also, I left my water out of here, so my mouth is getting a little parched. We're almost done. We're at 88 rounds. We got about 30 or so rounds left to go. I could go faster. I could get a drill. I could get a battery-operated, what are they called? Screwdrivers. But honestly, I don't want to risk burning up my gears, breaking something that I have to fix, because I am so paranoid that if I ever have to fix anything on this, it's not going to go back together, and it's kind of it's almost an art in and of itself to tear apart this thing and put it back together. So it may be something my husband helps me with, and if that is the case, I'll be thanking God that I have him in my life to help me with that, and to be grateful that I still have him in my life, and that we're in a good place, that, you know, we're together still. So we are coming up on our 20th wedding anniversary in December, which is awesome. And honestly, yeah, it feels like it's been a while. Because honestly, my memory's so bad that 20 years ago does not feel like yesterday to me. It feels like forever ago. And really it should, because it's been 20 years. Like, that's a lot of years. You know, that's almost a quarter of my life. If I live to be 100, you know. A quarter of the human lifespan currently. I mean, I don't know what our lifespan is right now, but, you know, a lot of people are living to be 80, 90, 100 years old. So I'm at 105. So about 15 more. See, like 15 rows went by quick. So, and this one turned out really pretty. My tail is in the carpet down here. I need to put a little clip on it so it holds it up above my carpet. Maybe I could wrap it around the lip down here. I think that's what I'm gonna do. That way it's not twisting the bottom of it. Not that it is, but just in case. Nate, see, I can go a little faster. I try to keep a nice, even, steady pace of my cranking, just so that way it does. I mean, I'm assuming it affects the tension a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm trying to keep it a nice, steady speed. By the way, if you ever make panels on these machines, there's two ways to do it. There is this way that I'm doing right now, where you can actually make tubes, and then when you close them up, instead of cinching them, if you just like pick up across, like if you sew across and like seam them together into a flat seam, then you can get panels that way. That's how I made my original, my first and only, not original, my first and only blanket so far. for Boggy Creek with the bright colors. All right, 116. I made it to about 50, 56, 57, so 55, 55 would be 110. I think I'm gonna go to 120. Just because I want to try and keep the colors a little bit even if I can. So one more round. Coming up on the last one, right here. Okay, so now I'm going to, how long has that been? 20 minutes? Wow, I made a hat in 20 minutes, y'all. That's crazy. 20 minutes, a hat. Well, okay, I'm not done with it, but I am, the cranking part, the hard part's done. Pulling out a darning needle, tapestry needle, whatever these are called. And then I made myself an exorbitantly long tail, because they say to have at least enough to go around the machine once. But then once you cinch it in, it like, you have this much left over after you've cinched it in. Excuse me. All right, so I'm gonna do, like I've said this before, but for those that are new, I do about, well, initially I do one or so at a time because they're tight on here right now. You know what, I missed a strand. There we go. And I gotta be careful that I don't pull too hard because I don't want to pull them off the teeth this way. So, because these over here are safe just because, you know, these teeth are sticking up out of them. But once they're down like this, then they're open. So once I get probably 10 of these picked up, I'll be able to go like this, where I can go and pick one off and go to the next one and not worry about pulling. But you'll notice that this little tail, this long tail that I left myself, gets shorter and shorter as you go around, but it's after you cinch it that you come back to the long tail that's left over. So there's quite a bit of scrap sometimes after these. Oh, I did it again. There we go. I keep missing all this is the one thing about this type of yarn, is it's kind of splitty. Even the big twist has a little bit of a splittiness to it with the shine, like the Caron Simply Soft. It's amazing yarn, y'all, like super soft, but it's just, maybe because of that softness, it's kind of splitty because it doesn't really stick to itself, you know, because it has that shine on it. And once I get a little further, I'm gonna start probably holding on to my work because I don't want it to overstretch this last stitch over here. Granted, it really doesn't matter because it's going to be cinched up, but I just, you know, I try to pull. This is the other thing, you kind of have to move things out of your way so that way you can work. And I get very like focused on this, so I apologize if I get quiet, because I want to make sure I'm catching what I need to catch, and you know, make sure I'm not dropping stitches and all that jazz. Hopefully I'll remember to tag, I need to go back and tag Southpaw Fiber Arts in all my Crank and Chat videos, because I'm pretty sure I use this contraption in all of my Addy stuff that I make, because y'all, this thing is amazing. It helps me keep a steady tension the whole way, and I haven't had any issues with dropping stitches. That's not to say that I can't, like it can't happen. Because, you know, one day the Addie may decide, oh, I got too much dust on me, I'm just gonna stop working today. Or, you know what, I'm not a fan of that yarn, so we're gonna drop stitches, even if, you know, it's got the tension guide on it. All right, I got 4 more. So we're gonna drop all 4 down, and I'm going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4. And see, like I said, the tail gets a little shorter. Not much, but it does. All right, I'm gonna move this up a little bit so it's out of my way. And what we do now is we just cinch it. But first, we want to stretch it. Get the stitches to loosen up and relax a little bit. So you just take it and stretch it out. And I think my colors are a little bit off, but that's okay. That is okay. I think it'll still look cute. And then like I said, it's for the kids. So all right, we'll start with the purple, the light purple, since I'm attached to it with my needle still on there. So I just cinch it up nice and tight. Just I hold it and I do my best to knot it. I'm not that great at it, but at least I don't think I am. Probably don't do it the same every time, I can tell you right now. Probably don't repeat the way I do it every time. I am thirsty. I need to go get me some water. All right, now I've got that knotted. Now I'm going to carefully thread this up through the center of the cinched hole there. This is where I take my ring off because my ring, my diamond on my ring catches on the inside of these, so I'll take it off real quick. Find the center and thread this through there, which my hole is not as tight as I would like it, but it's fine. And then I pull this up. I'm gonna pull the thread or the needle off. And now I'm going to work on finishing. I'm gonna pull it up through here like this, so it comes up to the other end. And then we just work on, and because you know what? We don't need this tail to be as long. I'm gonna cut some of it off just to make it a little bit more manageable. I don't feel like I'm saying that right, but anyway, I'm gonna pull the tail on the other one, make sure this one stays out. And you need to make sure that you like feed this, like make sure you turn it down and get all those stitches down in there as you're, you know, cinching it up. So that way you have a nice clean cinched top there, whether it's on the inside or outside. And then I just like to kind of work it around, keeping the other tail out, get it as tight as I can. I'm going to take my needle. First, I'm going to make this manageable. Cut some of that off. And I'm going to feed my needle thread, or I'm going to put my yarn back on my needle and make sure this is tightened down. Normally I like to go through and just tie the two ends together, but trying something a little different, putting a knot in it first. And then I'm going to knot these two ends together. I like to do like a wrap twice for my first part of my knot, like a surgeon's knot, I guess. Pull it down tight. Then I go my right hand over my left hand yarn, bring it in, cinch it down, and I'll do a couple of those just to make sure that it doesn't come undone. And then we take both ends, thread it onto our needle. This is the gloriousness of these hats. You don't have to sew in ends. Now I have to hide my ends, but I can still, you know, not have to sew them in. So what I do is I just go back into this cinched hole here, and I try to find the gap between the two layers and try to feed the tails through there. But I just got to make sure that I'm not grabbing. And I try to feed it down as far as I can and pull them through like that. And obviously one of my tails is longer than the other, so I'm going to cut off a little of the end. These scissors do not like to cut thread. They're more for scrapbook. I think I've said that a lot of times. And then what I do is I just find my top and pull it in, and it disappears inside the two layers. And then you can, you know, thwack it. It kind of relaxes it, stretches it out, and I flip it inside out and do it a couple times. So there's your, see how much extra over I went? Probably about, looks like I went about 4 or 5 rounds past where I needed to make it even, which I didn't know where I started. So this is, oh yeah, that fits nicely. It's nice and loose too. Not as tight as it normally is. All right, so I'm just trying to get it all the way down. Have a bit of a, there we go. Okay, and then you just, now this is not how you have to put a hat on, but I'm just trying to get it so you can see. There's that version. Actually 120 worked out pretty good. And it's very loose, I like it. So the other way, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna flip it this way. Now I have a ponytail in the back of my head, so like you can see it makes a pretty good hat. You know, the kids aren't gonna mind, and they'll be able to put it on however they want. But there you go, there's a hat in about, how many minutes is that? I gotta squint because it's too far away. 33 minutes. And you can put a little pom-pom on there, and there you go. That's all I have for you. So, we made a hat in 30 minutes, y'all. Check it. So easy. So easy. Love these machines. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna go get me a drink of water because I am thirsty and I need to clean up my mess and get all this out of the way before the hubby gets home, so that way he's not dealing with my crap in his way. So don't forget, it's a beautiful day to be kind and positive and make something beautiful. You know, even if it's on a knitting machine, you can make something beautiful. And we'll see you on the next one, friends. Bye. Just had to look at something. See you on the next one. This thing doesn't want to work for me.